Welcome everyone. Today we have a mega guide for Diablo 4. As you guys can see behind me, I have written some notes for a lot of hidden mechanics, details, method, and also tricks for Diablo 4. And let me show you guys over here. Did you know that you can use a filter for Diablo 4 and you can remove and add things onto the filters? And also, did you know you can be getting your level 820 plus items in the vendors? And this is a reminder, I want to show you guys how many of those I've gotten. And also, did you know you can be boosting your mount speed in multiple methods, using your mouse and also keyboard, and also use the cooldowns of the Shires. So in this video, we'll look at a lot of hidden tips and also mechanics that a lot of players might not be knowing, and also some of the biggest mistakes to be avoiding, because I was wasting double amount of gold with legendary items rerolling compared to rare items. So there's a lot of things I want to share with you guys, and yes, I could have made like 10 videos out of this one, but I want to make a mega guide for you guys to go through everything and then to summarize this one very quickly. So coming over to my notes. Now, if you guys want the written notes, I have been working with Mobilitics and they are helping me to put up my notes onto a website form, which is easily accessible, like this one over here. So in the future, I have those posted for you guys to be reading. And this is, at the moment, I have this on the video, right? So the first thing I want to share with you guys is going to be the most important one, is to not waste your gold with double amount of cost when rerolling legendary effects. Now, if you're wondering, what do you mean by that, Matt? So let me show you guys one of the examples. So a while back, I think about a week back, I first got to, higher world difficulty, and I have gotten this necklace. Notice that during the video, I was re-rolling the necklace, and the cost was about 800,000 to re-roll this necklace to the next stage. So let me show you guys a replay of what happens when I enchanted this necklace into a legendary necklace. So over here, this is right after the recording and also posting of that video. I had a brain fart because I was playing so much, and I made this necklace into a legendary. And then I was like, hey, wouldn't it be good if I reroll this because I just have enough currency? Notice I just made enough currency. So I came back, I didn't look at the enchant cost. I thought this was about, 800,000. I think the previous cost was about 1.2 million because I clicked once after the recording, and then notice that the cost, I just clicked it and I just lost 2.5 million gold. So what is happening is, after you have changed your items, so previously, let me show you guys. Previously, that this item was a rare item. The rare item reroll cost is the half amount of the legendaries, or the legendary amount cost is doubled. So if you're rerolling item for your stats, make sure you get it before you make it into legendaries, because once you make it into legendaries, the cost will be doubled. So let's say before you're costing 8 million gold, it is likely going to be 16 million gold once it's legendary. So once it's legendary, you probably don't want to be rerolling for your stats. Now, the reason I want to make this one the first tip is because this will save you a lot of gold if you know about this. If you don't, you'll be wasting a lot of gold. Now, the second thing is, I'm sure a lot of you have know about this one. You could be saving lower level legendaries and for the enchantment or the crafting effects for the futures. So you can be extracting those legendary effects to be crafting onto new items. But did you guys know that with the I'm so full with items. With the legendary aspects effects, if you are extracting lower level legendary effects and then crafting this onto new legendaries, this will cost you less gold. But if you're extracting from secret items, this will cost you moderate amount of gold. And finally, if you're extracting this one from ancient aspects, this will cost you more gold. So let's say if I'm selecting different gear pieces, let me try to give you guys examples. So many gears, I need to sort them out. For example, if I'm extracting this particular effect with 33% thorn spreading damage, this will be the most costly legendary aspects. But in exchange, if I'm actually extracting this one, which is the same effect, this is a secret grade item, this will actually cost me less gold to be crafting, to be extracting for my new items. This will save you some gold, maybe 300,000 or 500,000 gold if you know about this. Now, coming over to my next tip. Now, a few of those tips were quite interesting, and this is shared to me by a friend. He was just pressing random keys on his keyboard. So if you press tab or if you open your map, what you're going to see is, you're not going to see the filter function. But if you press F and press F away, I'm not sure what it is on the console though, you guys have to find it out. So notice that there's a function called filter. And I did not know about this. You can press F to center the player, and once you do, you come back to your player. And you can zoom, you can ping, but did you know that you can press general? I'm sure you guys know about this. But did you know that you can press F and take away things that you don't want? Let's say if you have collected all your Art of Lilith and you don't want to see them on the map, you can click this and they will disappear. There's a lot of good features that can allow you to have a clear vision on your map. So what you can see is normally I take away the stronghold, I take away the artist, and sometimes if I don't need something, I'll take it away so my map is much more clearly so I can look for other things. Now our next tip is quite interesting. So this one is about getting your faster mount speed. There are two ways of doing this. So one of the ways I discovered is that if you pick up a cooldown Shire which lowers your cooldowns, this works on the boosting speed of the mount. But you get pretty sonic speed because you can just infinitely boost your speed. But of course you don't get the combination of this most of the time. So the much more usable and also more convenient way of getting a faster speed is actually to keep your mouse if you're playing on your PC away from the mount. Let me show you guys an example over here. So I need an open space. So let me find open space. Now over here, I'll show you guys the demonstration of how to get faster mount speed. This is on the PC. I'm not sure exactly how this will work on the console again. So here, notice I'm dragging my mouse and notice my mount is not moving very fast. When your mouse is close to your character, this is actually making it super slow. And when you drag this away, notice that you have a noticeably faster speed. And this is even better if you press your spacebar, which is the boost of the speed, right? So here I'm out of the city. Notice I'm moving super fast. But if I do the same thing and I move my mouse in front of me, the boost of speed actually does not work. So notice if you move your mouse away to the maximum extent of your screen, the bigger screen you have, the better it is, you will be moving super fast compared to the previous speed. And this is a small trick. Sometimes I'm moving so slow, I don't know why. And this is a small mechanics that is hidden in the game. Now coming over to our next tip. So over here, if you guys are leveling and if you're close to level 60, 70, 80 or 90, you want to be saving some of your herbs. You don't want to be crafting too much experience potions and don't have any herbs for the health upgrade. So what I mean by that is, notice that you can be getting health potion upgrades. And each of those health potion upgrades will provide a heal of maximum life, which is actually quite important in the late game. Now because a lot of my tips were randomly placed, so over here we have a Legion event tip. If you guys haven't seen a previous video, which in that video on the final part I was showing you guys how to get triple reward from the Legion event, which actually benefit from the Tree of Whispers and also from Helltide. So definitely check out that previous video, and this is not a ×2, this is actually a ×3 jackpot if you get this correctly. And yes guys, if you have joined us on Discord, sometimes if I see this ×3 or ×2 jackpot for the Legion event, I'll be making a post onto the Discord to give you guys an update and so you can come over as well. Now if you guys haven't subscribed, it is a really good time to do so, because I'll be covering tons of Diablo 4 related topics and also videos and also guides. We'll be looking to the top meta builds, non-meta builds, leveling up and also Paragon tricks. We're also looking to the latest events and also official updates and also changes to different characters and also different builds in the game. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn the notification on, because a lot of you who are watching the videos have not subscribed. You can see 80% of the viewers who are watching our videos have not subscribed, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for the latest update for Diablo 4. Now as we keep going, the next tip is about the Tree of Whispers. So if I come over here, I'll show you guys, I'll take away the filter, you can see this Tree of Whispers, questing and also method. This is not the biggest deal of getting items, but sometimes you can be getting more items. Now every 3 days, you'll be getting a Tree of Whisper PvP event. So using this replay as an example, you can see here with the Tree of Whisper PvP, if you kill the mini boss over here, you get 5 points. But something you do have to notice, if you kill this boss on World Difficulty 3 and then you come to World Difficulty 4, you wouldn't have this one available. Because when I tested this on World Difficulty 4, and I went back to World Difficulty 3, this particular quest on this zone was not available. So in this sense, you want to be killing the monster boss on World Difficulty 4 for the Tree of Whispers, because the trees will be separated with reward on different difficulties. Now the next tip is actually pretty simple, but there's a small twist to it. So if I come over to my character, notice I want to get back to the town, right? I can simply press T and this will teleport me back to the town. And this is actually quite inconvenient. Sometimes the town is too big, you don't want to be running, and this will save you time to get to the center of the town. But do notice that guys, if you use this method, you will be removing your previous town portal. And what I do with this is, let's say if I'm rushing to teleport to a friend, I can be using this one to center myself at the town portal, and then I can use my friend's port to go to a different place. Now over here, we're going to skip a little bit. I want to show you guys the best spot to be sorting out your inventory. Let's say if you're playing the game and all of a sudden you have so many items. What I tend to do is, I have a secret place I want to show you guys. And while the game is loading, I'll tell you guys the other trick. So the particular topic at hand is a lot of players were asking me, are you selling or are you salvaging items? So what I'm doing after level 85, after level 90, is I start to sell items over, salvaging rare items. This is because we'll be getting so many rare item materials just from the monster drops. Like the Veil Crystals, they start to drop from elites. Now what I'm also doing is I'm still salvaging legendaries, and also I'm doing Helltide for the additional materials. Now that my game has loaded, let me show you guys my hidden spot. So let's say if I'm trying to sort out my inventory, I come over to my stash and you can see there's a lot of items. So some of the items I want to be salvaging, some of the items I want to be selling. This is such a good spot because you come to the NPC, you have NPC, you can sell items over here. Let me see if I'm selling correctly. Well, I kind of want to keep this one. Yeah, I want to keep this one. Actually, those are my good items. I don't want to be selling them. I want to sell this one. So then you come over to the next NPC, you can be salvaging items. Look how convenient this is. So this is my hidden spot to sort out my inventory. There's a stash over here, there's an NPC to sell, there's an NPC to salvage. And this will save you so much time running back and forth in the town. Now finally, we have some tips that serves as a reminder. So over here I want to show you guys how I have gotten so many level 800 plus items, and we have the replays. So if you haven't seen the previous video about checking the inventory, about checking the vendors hourly, I have been checking. Notice that I got a level 820 chest, and this is just not once. So here I got a level 812 ring, and if I keep going, I got a level 812 mace. So there's a lot of good items you can be checking. And just let me show you my secret stash of preparation of items. So there's a 821 chest, there's a 802 axe, there's a 808 mace or two-handed mace, there's a 814 sword. And even more, I have gotten an 831 sword. And finally, an 822 sword. So there's a lot of items you can be checking for vendors and also farming special elites. And yes guys, in case you're wondering, we made a video about farming for the 844 sword. I was able to get an 831 sword, and we do have the videos over here. So the two videos I was talking about, I have those available for you guys to have a look in more details. And finally, of course, if you guys are looking for more ways of trading items, selling items, or getting more items, we do have a Discord available, and you can see there's a lot of items sorted by your class. So if you're looking for certain items, if you want to flex your items or sell items, you can come over here to be selling items and trading items with players. And this can be a really good way to be finding more items. Because as most of you know, you start to get a lot of gold, and this can become especially useful if you're looking for a certain piece of items. You can go through our Discord to see if there's a good item, contact the player, and look into buying those items or selling items. Now, of course, guys, if you have seen our ban warning video, if you're trading large amount of gold, be a little careful. I don't recommend trading over 10 million gold, and if you're getting more gold, make sure you have screenshots and also even recordings to prove that you are trading legitimately. So this is a warning about trading. I don't know how Blizzard is doing this. They allow for trading, but they're banning players for trading too much. So I'm still a little, still unsure about this one, so I'll always make a warning to you guys if you plan to trade in the game for a large amount of gold. Now, in case you guys didn't know, I'll be live streaming on Twitch again, and I have just started. So make sure to come over to the links below to join us on Twitch live to say hi, maybe ask me questions or share any tips with the viewers. And while you're here, make sure you follow. And if you do have your Twitch Prime, this is a really good time to use your Twitch Prime over here, supporting us with Twitch Prime. And yes guys, join us as I test build for Diablo, and also join us as you play the game and also farm the game. So stay a while and also listen. We'll also be doing some giveaways and also special viewer events in the Diablo as well. Maybe we do PvP and also related events in the game as we get to the end game, and also help players to go through the dungeons.